Good. Oh, you seem to have caught us discussing the magic box here at the UK MMA Expo.
Going to be 2 days of nothing but MMA. People like Michael Bisping are going to be here. You're going to have seminars by Mark Goddard. You're going to have seminars by Rob Sinclair. You're going to have seminars by, the names go on, Rosi Sexton, Joanne Calderwood. This is going to be a fantastic weekend of MMA.
I've just got to nip over here 1 sec.
I'm here with one of the fans. Sir, why are you here?
I wouldn't miss it. I love the sport of MMA and can't get enough of it. So to come here and support it in the UK is brilliant.
Yeah, we're from Precision Hydration. We've got electrolyte drinks for rehydration. Lots of different athletes use us for different purposes. We've got everything from really low strength electrolytes, which are just for day-to-day hydration, right up to super strong ones, which have got sort of 3 times as much electrolyte as a normal sports drink. And a lot of the fighters will use this for rehydration after weigh-ins and that type of thing. It's really simple to mix up. They come in tablet form, so 1 tablet makes half a litre, and 1 tube full of tablets makes all of those bottles up. So in there, you've got 7.5 litres of electrolyte drink, basically.
Front Row MMA here at the UK MMA Expo with one of the legends of UK MMA, indeed one of the legends of the sport, Lee Adstall. Lee, I know you've been here all day. First off, though, why is an event like this so important for UK MMA?
Well, an event like this that's dedicated just for MMA is like a landmark in the history of UK MMA. I think this event will go down just like when the UFC first came to London. Way back to when I first done events in the UK. It's like one of those landmark moments, and I'm here to support the event. We did questions and answers for pioneers of UK MMA, which I was actually quite surprised. There was a good turnout, and we got some great questions and hopefully some good answers.
Now, I think a lot of people might be more familiar with an Ian Freeman than a Lee Adstall at the moment, but you've been fighting MMA for how long, and how did you get started, and where do you think the sport is growing?
Okay, I'll try and do a quick kind of overview. Most of my career was fought in Japan, hence I'm probably not so famous here in the UK. Like I say, all my best matches, my peak in fighting sports was all done in Japan. I first went out to Japan in 1994, so it's nearly 20 years ago. In actual fact, I was there last month with UK fighters, amateurs, with a UK versus Japan event, which was awesome. Great turnout. Unfortunately, we didn't win the tournament, but we had some great wins. Going back to the question, the way that the sport is going, I personally, the professional is really growing up. We need to concentrate on the amateurs.
Okay, I'm Lee Walker, one half of the academy, the other half is Sam Rowe. Between the two of us, we basically wrote a course, combines MMA, a gym program, basic physiology and anatomy, taking kids with a troubled background, been identified via probation, social services, police, local youth groups. They're referred to us. They do a 12-week program. It works out 48 sessions, no cost to them, and funds are met by sort of local councils and government. The aim to reduce antisocial behaviour, violence, increase their self-esteem, and just social interaction.
Front Row MMA here at the UK MMA Expo with UFC light heavyweight standout Jimmy Poster Boy Manawa. Jimmy, it seems like a long time since Wembley and we last saw you in the cage. How hungry are you to get back in?
Hey, I'm always hungry, I'm always ready, I always stay ready for my next fight. We've been training, we've still been training and ticking over. and yeah, I'm ready. Just whenever the UFC decides to match me up, and now I'll be ready.
Now, hopefully, there's an event at the end of October, and I know you can't confirm or deny anything, but how good would it be to appear back in the UFC in the UK in an event in Manchester?
It's always good to fight in the UK in front of the UK fans and everything. Yeah, just whenever. Do you know what I mean?
You know, you're at an event like the UK MMA Expo, and how important is this to helping the scene in the UK grow? How good is an event like this?
Mate, it's lovely. It's just like Senny and these sort of events and everything. It's always good to meet and interact with the fans and everything. And I love it. I love meeting the fans, and it's surreal, like signing autographs and taking pictures and everything. It's good. It's good.
We started May last year. I'm just a fan of sport. I loved it that much, wanted to get involved, so I started Roundup, and yeah, we're going well. Arnold Allen, he was my first one. I saw him on Sky Sports on the Cage Fighter programme, and he wanted a nickname, and I just started, so I messaged him saying, what about Arnold Allen? Almighty Arnold Allen. And he said, yeah, I like it. And I just progressed from there.
You know, this weekend we went to Cage Warriors 57 in Liverpool, the Echo Arena. You know, we'll start with the fight of the night, because you know we watched it, and then
we had a top three, didn't we?
We really did.
Because it was so hard to choose. So.
Yeah, so you know we can mention the two runner-ups.
Yes.
You know, I'll go with the first. I'm going to take the first one, and that was.
I can't remember.
It was oh, for Christ, Leroy Barnes and Norman Parsley. I mean, Leroy's striking looked phenomenal. His hand speed was there. His power. You know,
very, very confident. He said that he knew Perez's holes in his games, and I think he did point them out as well. I think he did really well.
Yeah. I mean, it essentially came down to just the fact that Leroy had to spend a little bit more time on bottom. He was never really taken down. He always looked for that guillotine, and you know, if he gets anywhere half too close to finishing that, someone's in trouble. But he kept looking, and unfortunately, Perez kept sort of escaping that. He never really looked in trouble on the bottom. He looked comfortable. He wasn't taking hits, and you know, at the end of the fight, you know, yeah, there was a winner of a fight, but there was also someone who didn't look like they won a fight.
I personally think that was Leroy's downfall, was the fact that he kept going for the guillotine, especially against a slippy opponent who'd been sweating a lot. I think he kind of put himself in trouble by the fact that as he was going for the guillotine, he was putting himself on his back. Yeah. So then when Perez got himself out the hold, it was then a lot of punches thrown, but Leroy defended him. You know, I think most of those punches hit his arms, and yes, he walked away from that fight looking like he'd just had a warm up.
Yeah,
Crazy looked like he'd come away from a war.
Yeah, and I think if anybody,
I do think, I just want to say as well that I don't think he deserved the 30-27 because of that as well, you know.
Yeah, I mean,
I'm not a judge.
Judging's always, you know, a subjective thing, isn't it? But I think it would be I think that was particularly harsh. That was unfair. I think they missed something in that score. You know, our second fight was Steve Dinsdale and Dan Rushworth. I mean, that was a real war. I mean, Dinsdale, he took a licking and kept on ticking. That was tough.
To be fair, I think I thought it was a lot tougher fight to judge. Because I don't know whether it was a fanboy in me watching it, but I thought Rushworth, he's got this. It was just the style of his fighting and everything. But yet again, I wasn't paid to judge that night. I was there as press, but also as a fan of the sport and watching it. I kind of gave it Rushworth, but I totally understand why it went the other way.
And again, this was a 3-round epic, and you know, both guys hurt each other. It took place everywhere, and these are both again on the Facebook prelims just before, you know, we haven't even hit the main card. And then
I mean, like you say, the prelims on this were pretty much a promotion's main card.
Yeah,
and they've got them on the prelims. That shows how much Cage Warriors are coming on, and definitely cementing themselves as the top promotion in the UK and probably Europe.
Yeah. We moved to the fight that we gave it to, and it was Dan Hot Chocolate, you know, against a late replacement in Henry Fideby.
Yeah.
And you know, 21 years old, and you know, I think there was obviously a partisan crowd.
Yes.
You know, and how do you think he coped? And certainly under the pressure that he was put under, were you impressed by his performance?
Well, saying he had his face smashed in the first round, and you thought this guy ain't coming out into the second round, and then he did, and then he won.
Yeah.
That shows what kind of fighter he is, and that shows his grit and determination to get the win. And he was relaxed. I think he did really, really well to claw that fight back and get the win.
Chris Fishgold. This is a guy we'd heard a lot about and never had a chance to see. He was in there with Marcin, who we know, we've seen before. How impressed were you with Fishgold?
Very. But I mean, you don't get that fight record by being a one-trick pony. However, I knew that going up against Marcin was going to be tough for him, very tough for him, because I've seen Marcin fight and I know what he's like, and he is a little bit crazy in the head. But Fishgold did his job properly, and I wouldn't say he schooled Marcin, but I think Marcin was probably 2 or maybe 3 fights too early for Chris Fishgold.
Yeah, I mean his ground game is phenomenal, and the way he held position, we've not seen Marcin sort of handled quite so easily on the ground. Marcin
way stronger.
It was cagey isn't fair because it was a very active first round, but you didn't feel that Marcin was going to be in too much trouble. He didn't look like he was in too much trouble at any point, but Chris was dominating throughout, keeping position and moving around looking for subs. Marcin's sub defense was on point in the first round. And the main event, the last time we'll see Semtex on home soil, perhaps for a couple of fights anyway, until Bellator decide to bring their live show over here. Do you think he'll be pleased with the way he went out?
Yeah, he lost Tyrone Woodley, didn't he, in Strikeforce, and he got taken down quite a lot.
Yeah, he got wrestle fucked.
Yeah. Well, I didn't want to say that just in case he watched this, which he probably will. But anyways, he lost that fight and he went away, and he learned a lot of wrestling defence, and you could tell last night he learned wrestling defence.
Yeah, I mean, his opponent, I'm never going to pronounce the last name right, so I'm not even going to try, but Lucas, his wrestling, he's known as a wrestler. He's got some really good, Eastern European background, lots of wrestling background. Paul just shrugged him off, sprawled well, and he made him pay whenever they were breaking out of the clinch. Those elbows were horrible.
Yeah, not only did he learn wrestling, he learned how to elbow people till they either stopped, verbally quit, or bled to death.
Yeah, I mean, it might not be as flashy as a knockout, but that perhaps he wanted. But there was no doubt about.
Statement. People know Paul Daley for knocking people out. What he said was, "Well, I can also seriously fucking damage your face."
Yeah. Cage War is a fantastic event. If they come to your town, you need to buy tickets, and price is fairly reasonable.
I know a guy that paid I don't want to say a very, very competitive price, because I don't know whether the prices should be discussed. And he had the best view in the house. It was just on the first tier where everyone loves to sit, and
as long as we're not being too specific, I just think it's value for money is what I'm saying. Cage Warriors equals value for money, so get out and enjoy the event.
My name's Lars, I'm from Raging Fightwear. We're based in Birmingham, but we're UK-wide. We're working with a lot of graffiti artists, both in the UK and Europe, and we're just trying to bring something new to UK MMA and Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. We have a website, www.ragingfightwear.com. You can find us, if you Google Raging Fightwear, it always comes straight to the top. And just get involved, and you can follow us on Twitter, on Instagram, you can like us on Facebook. So if you can follow us on Instagram, you'll see daily updates of everything that we do, and you can follow the journey of getting involved, really.
Front Row MMA here at the UK MMA Expo with Andy. He's one of my favorite interviews, Andy Ogle. Andy, first off, commiserations on losing out on a really decent fight because of injury. How's that recovering? How's recovery going?
Recovering's going okay. When me and Colin, my coach, decided that I was going to have to pull out of the fight, I was very upset because I know what a lot of people may be thinking, but Conor's time will come, and there's a lot of people in the featherweight division, and just because I don't have this fight doesn't mean that there's not a lot of great fights in the UFC waiting for me, and hopefully I'll get another one coming up soon.
Now, you touched on it in your answer, but when the fight was first announced, sort of the MMA world jumped up and down, and I think probably did you a disservice. You pulled yourself off social media for a little while. Did it take a while to? What did that do to your psyche? Were you just wanting to ignore the people talking crap?
I wanted to ignore a lot of people talking crap because basically this guy's created a lot of hype for himself. Nobody's going to pick yourself up better than you, and he's done it very well. He is very good at it, and he's a very confident person, very outgoing, very extrovert, and yeah, I appreciate that. I've seen little holes in his game where I felt as if I could take advantage of that. And yeah, I felt as if I was going to derail a hype train, and I just needed to get offline. And everyone's going to doubt you. Everyone's going to doubt you, mate. I'm the guy that you put your money on. Yeah, I'm the guy that always I'm going to get you your money back and more. People seem to think I'm an underdog for some reason, and I'm going to start proving people wrong.
It's also thermogenic. That means it speeds up the metabolism slightly. So it's excellent for weight management. Not a slimming product, but part of a healthy diet, a healthy lifestyle. It will back up that regime and help keep you slim. But it's also, when you cook with it, it can also cook at very, very high temperatures and does not change or oxidize into what you call a trans fat. It's trans fats that block up and fur up the arteries and cause cardiovascular problems. Virgin coconut oil is one of the few oils that doesn't go through this oxidization process, I should say. So it's an extremely healthy oil from that point of view.
We decided on body armour originally because it sort of explained that it was a protection for the skin, for the body. It's a shower gel to prevent skin infections, but then we realised that actually when somebody sees the word body armour in a logo by itself, it doesn't necessarily tell them that it's a shower gel, it doesn't tell them what we actually do. So we thought we will rebrand, launch here at the Expo, and then it will hopefully people that are new to our product will be able to just carry that name forward, and people who knew us from before will know that it's the same great product, just a different label.
Front Row MMA here at the UK MMA Expo, and I'm fortunate enough to be joined by James Doolan and Joanne Calderwood. So first off, guys, thanks for coming here, especially you've only just arrived. We appreciate it.
No problem.
You know, you guys have traveled to be here. It's not a 2-minute journey, it's not a half-hour journey. Why is the UK MMA Expo a good thing?
It's 4 hours drive. It wasn't too bad. We're supporting the sport, and it's really important for that, and we're coming down for tomorrow's seminar, and there's a grappling competition tomorrow as well, so I'm going to compete, and I think it's awesome, really.
Yeah, I think one of the reasons I wanted to come down was just to catch up with a lot of people that I've not seen in a while. It's kind of cool there's going to be a lot of people that kind of keep in touch with, but I've not seen since maybe fight shows and stuff. Again, just to support the sport and kind of keep working as a community towards getting the sport more mainstream.
What do you think we have to do as a community? That's a great way of describing it. What do we have to do to help raise the profile of this sport?
I think definitely work together. I think there's been some big kind of jumps forward in the last maybe year with the Safe MMA project. The shows are getting more and more professional. I think as long as we keep that professionalism and all the main players are kind of working together, it's going to push the sport forward. But hopefully there's no kind of fractions and stuff that happens with other martial arts.
Now, you guys train with the Dinky Ninja fight team, Grip House, as well. You know, you guys have been a camp that people have been talking about for a number of years now. It's not just a flash in the pan. You guys have developed a reputation over time. Can you tell us a little bit about how you got involved in it and about, you know, the gym, the team itself? And again, as the only female, do you have to work twice as hard, or do you get, you know, how does it work?
It's just really for me, for training wise, it's just harder because the guys are a wee bit bigger. So I'm the latest in the team. That's only my biggest disadvantage, but at the same time my teammates they're not putting all their power and strength into beating me up or that. They're letting me work and they're letting me train as just alongside them, and they'll understand that I'm smaller than them and stuff, but they also get to work stuff with me that they would maybe not get away with someone their own size and in that kind of competitive environment, so they can work on stuff with me, and everyone's so helpful and stuff. I love my team. And James can tell you the history.
The team's not like, we were pretty much doing MMA before it became fashionable. We were, I think, started, I'd competed in amateur MMA in 1999, while I was still predominantly just kickboxing. I'd seen some tapes and thought I knew what I was doing, and then I started travelling into Glasgow, which was about 40 miles, and I was fortunate enough to meet Paul, who went on, and he's obviously one of my best pals now, but the team kind of formulated from that, basically me travelling into Glasgow, and I used to go in there to learn jiu-jitsu, and I'd start going in early, and I was coaching Paul some striking, he would coach me jiu-jitsu, and this started like twice a week, and then before I knew it I was in there 5-6 times a week, and then I'd started coaching. We never had a gym or anything. We trained at a couple open jiu-jitsu classes in Glasgow, and we put some mats in Paul's student when he was at Glasgow Uni. We put some mats in his flat. We used to train in there, but some of the guys that came through that flat were crazy. Like John Kavanagh used to come over and train, and you obviously know what he's doing now with his guys. And I started travelling into Glasgow to learn jiu-jitsu because it was the closest BJJ school to us. I met Paul there, and we pretty much got on instantly, which is weird because we're totally different. And we've been together pretty much, it sounds like we're in some kind of gay relationship, but we've been together ever since then as like kind of best pals and training partners, and the team's just snowballed for me and Paul and another guy, John Nicholson, hooking up to train in Paul's flat where we had some mats. And before long we started kind of finding other places to train, hiring halls, kind of going, it's pretty much the same route as a lot of the other teams that are about now, all the way up to getting our own gym in Glasgow, and then my place for Larkin, Johnson and Barton. And now the team, I think at the last count we had just under 30 pro fighters. The 3 gyms are very successful. The numbers and the classes and that are crazy. And the amount of talent coming at the gyms are mad. I think we're ranked in the kind of team standings and a couple of websites last year as the top team in the UK.
Is it still fair to say that, do you still consider yourself sort of the nucleus of the team, and not just yourself but yourself and Paul, and or has it grown to be something bigger than that now? We've been very careful to keep that tightness about the team. We kind of joke about the team sometimes, like it's not the same as other teams. Sometimes it feels like you're in a gang. I feel like it's more like you're kind of with my mates and stuff, but that's the thing that makes that team so strong. It's that you're with your pals, you're having fun, but you're working exceptionally hard, and it pays off. And I think you can see that with the kind of, we've got pretty much guys either champions or #1 contenders in every show, and are the most relevant shows in the UK. We've still got the OMAC champion Stevie Ray just lost the Bama title. Paul's defended his Cage Warriors title a few times. Graham Turner's kind of sitting in position for the Cage Warriors featherweight title. And we've got young guys coming up, Alan Johnson. We've got Martin Delaney holding titles, and Robert Whiteford and stuff like that. So there's guys making a lot of noise there, but they're all under the same roof, and just getting stronger and stronger all the time. And the thing with the Dinky Ninjas as well is, for a while we never had blueprints or systems to follow. Me and Paul were kind of winging it, if we're honest, and we're still being pretty successful. But now we've got, for the mistakes me and Paul's learned, we're taking guys with 2 years training now, and they're absolute killers. Whereas before, like, me and Paul had to train for 6, 7, 8 years to get to a certain level. But we've learnt through mistakes and stuff. And it's not just trial and error in the gym. Both of us have got academic qualifications at university level in sport and exercise science and sport nutrition and stuff like that as well. So it's everyone's kind of planned and systemised now, whereas before it was
we're kind of cowboys a wee bit, to be honest. But so the strength of the team is just going to get better now.
Is there ever a point though that you would like that? Because I'm presuming,
she likes the limelight, being the only girl.
Being a typical boy, you imagine that a friendship between two women is different than two lads being mates. And is that something that you ever consider, or is it just we're all in the same pot together?
She's the same. She sits and tells dirty jokes, and she's not ladylike.
Oh, come on, no way!
I swear to God.
Seriously, give us a joke. You have to give us a joke.
No, the only bad habit I've got is a burp.
She acts like a man. She shits with the door open.
Joe, you just back from Invicta, another win, 7-0 now. It was Norma Center this time, but it was one opponent, then another, then another. Was that frustrating? Did it change the fight camp at all for you?
It didn't change my fight camp one bit, because obviously I'm there to train and get fighting fit, and it just kind of made it kind of drag out a wee bit. I don't know why, but did kind of feel like I had went through 3 different camps. But just like, it doesn't really matter. Whoever I'm fighting, it's always going to be the same. Like James and Paul tailor my fight camp a tiny wee bit, just maybe if they've picked up and stuff when they've studied the opponent and stuff. But that takes like an hour or so just to watch my next opponent and stuff. But it doesn't really bother me as long as I'm there and I get a fight. And it could always be a lot worse. Like Andy Gomes, she was on the same card and she also went through 3 different opponents, and then when she was waiting for the runner to come and get her, then they said the fight was off because our opponent had tripped over a bag and twisted her knee. So I was like, well, at least I get to fight. Like, she went through 3 opponents, and then the 3rd one, but they unluckily twisted her knee. So it can always be a lot worse. And as long as I'm still fighting at the end of the day.
It was a 6-fight contract, I think, so it's the first of the 6. I think I know how you're going to answer this question, only because I follow you when the fans ask it over the social media and what have you. And is there anybody you'd like to fight next? And in particular, one of our colleagues interviewed Becca Rowdy Hyatt, who made a comment that perhaps was not flattering, probably because she doesn't know you as opposed to anything else. Does that kind of fight interest you because there's a little bit of banter has started, or are you just looking to keep progressing through the ladder? Do you ever want to fight with someone particularly?
With someone with banter, or
if somebody's saying I'd quite like Joe because is there times that you want to bite for that and go, yeah, I'll take that fight, or are you just happy to?
No, my job as a fighter is to fight whoever Invicta and whoever my management have agreed to. Like, I think that is a job. Like, we should just fight whoever's in front of us, and all that. Like the shit you were saying about her having a comment or that, I don't like. I'm on social networking and stuff, but I'm not checking up in all these other fighters, seeing what they're saying or that, because I'm just there to keep in contact with my teammates and the fans and that, but I don't really pay attention to the kind of drama, hype or whatever you want to call it.
For you now, is it important that it's always just a step forward? Is it now about working your way towards the title shot and whatever's put in front of you? And as a manager, is that what you want for her?
We have certain goals and stuff that we want Joanne to meet, and until she gets a setback, then she's going to keep progressing towards those goals. She's 3-0 in Invicta now. She's been pretty flawless there. In between that, she had a really good performance at Cage Warriors against another tough American girl. And to be honest, she's still to get out of first gear. She's getting by with stuff that she's not even showed a quarter of her potential in other aspects. But that's definitely going to come.
If I were to ask you both the same question separately, I'm wondering if I'd get the same answer here. How many fights before a title shot is something that you'd want or consider? Is it 1 fight away? Is it 2 fight away? And I'm just wondering if the answer would be the same or different.
You go first, James.
If they offer it now, then she's good to go for it now. The last time they offered it to Joanne on 4 days' notice, we were done training, and if they went directly to Joanne, which is a good thing about Invicta, they're professional enough to go through the right channels where they went to the management or the coaches. And if you ask a fighter if they want to fight, especially the way Joanne is, she's going to say yes. So when they came to me, before I even spoke to Joanne, I'd already pretty much said no, because her training was done. She'd finished her camp, and basically all we had to do now was travel over there and make weight, and it was for the difference in opponent. It just wasn't enough time. If it had been 2 weeks, maybe it would have been enough time, but it was like 4 days, and Joanne got criticised about that a little bit, man. I know she doesn't read these forums and stuff, but there was people saying that she should have stepped up, and the girl that did step up got a wee bit of praise and stuff like that. But she's made the right career decision now. She's on her 3 fights under her belt since then. She's progressing. The best time to fight Joanne would be now, because she's going to get better and better. But right now, I think her next fight in Invicta's for #1 contender fight. I expect she's going to have to fight the Brazilian girl Claudia Gadela, because I expect she'll be the champion by the time that fight comes round. But if they offered it right now, I would take it in a heartbeat, because she's ready for it now. She would have probably been ready for it the last time, but it was the 4 days' notice. All we had to do was travel.
And does the accolades of being a world champion, do they matter, or is it just the fight that's important to you?
Just the fight, because that scares me about. Well, it doesn't scare me, but when I do get the Invicta belt, I know that I will only be able to fight maybe once or twice. So you'll only really be defending your belt once or twice a year. So, but Invicta's really good that they encourage me to fight Thai and compete in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu competitions and wrestling and stuff. So it wouldn't be that bad. I think I could fight, keep my competitive going way.
Well aware of how long we've kept you, and I want to thank you so much for your time. But before I let the pair of you go, are there any sponsors or friends or family you'd like to give a shout out to? Please feel free.
Hi, back home. 4 hours up the road. My sponsors, Mal, Martial Art Life, who's just done my signature t-shirt that is available. Sandy.
Yeah, where can we get that t-shirt?
martialartlife.com. Mal. Sandy, Thailand.
Sponsors.
So, Physio Effect. Who else, James? Fuck.
Martial Arts Life, Physio Effect, Funky Gums, S&S Nutrition, Devil's Zone, Apparel, the Grip House Gym.
Yeah, Dinky Ninja Fight Team.
For putting up with you.
Again, thank you so much for your time. It's a pleasure to speak, and it's been a pleasure to meet you, and good luck in the fights coming up.
Thank you.
Day 2 here at the UK MMA Expo, Event City, Manchester, and today they've got a full lineup. They've got a grappling. We got a grappling tournament going on, and then we've got, of course, I know Sean's looking forward to this. I wish I knew where he was. We have the Cage Girl event. We've also got seminars with Michael Bisping, Jimmy Manoa, Ross Pearson will be here, Martin Stapleton, and there's. There's nothing like taking this seriously, and this is nothing like taking it seriously. I really liked the conversation about pulling off the Cage Girls.
How long have you been here?
I had this strange dream. Here we are. Look, Sean, we're back again. It's the UK MMA Expo. It's the second, and it's the last day. What you looking forward to?
Well, I feel like I've been asked this question before.
Yeah, well, it wasn't by me.
I'm getting deja vu.
Oh, cool, yeah, sorry.
What am I looking forward to today?
Yeah.
Just more of the same, really. So I mean, I don't know, I'm expecting a bit more of a buzz around the place today, do you know what I mean? So yeah, just looking forward to that really, just go and enjoy it, innit?
As I say, they've got some great seminars to look forward to. You got Women in Combat, you know, with Rosi Sexton. Thanks, you fucker. We got Rosi Sexton. You got Joanne Calderwood and others giving seminars. Michael Bisping's going to be around. Colin Fletcher, Martin Stapleton, Jimmy Manoa. The list goes on and on. So let's head inside and see how it's going.
Okay.
All right. MMA here at the UK MMA Expo in Manchester. It's going to be an easy interview, I can tell. I'm here. Owen King and Jimmy Wallhead. First off, Jimmy, you're here with Almighty Fightwear today.
Yep.
How long have you been with the brand? And
yeah, I've been with them last couple of months. They're going to be doing all my corner tees, my walkout tee for my next Bama fight.
They have a lot of talented fighters on board. Who else is part of the Almighty team, as it were?
I've only met them all today. So to be honest,
we'll get some.
I don't know all names.
I'm just gonna. This is gonna be. Yeah. This is gonna be one of those.
I'll learn the names today, but I heard good things about all of them. I heard they're all good up and coming.
Certainly Arnold Allen. We know Arnold is one of them, and then a few others. And yeah, you've got a real strong sort of brand going there. You're at the UK MMA Expo. You're getting a chance to meet the fans and the people. How important is that to you as a fighter in terms of meeting your public?
Yeah, absolutely, mate. You know what I mean? It's nice as well to be here and to feel that support off the fans and people wanting to pitch. It makes you feel good. You know what I mean? It's nice to know these people are behind me and supporting me, and it's nice to be here, man.
As one of the people who laugh, I think you're one of the figureheads of UK MMA. You've been around for a while. I'm not aging you, but you've been around for a while, and this is the first kind of just specific MMA Expo that the country's ever seen. How important is it that this kind of event continues on?
Yeah, man, I think it's great. Is this the first one you say? Yeah.
First one that's just MMA based.
Is it?
With
man, I think it's great. Like I say, I haven't had a chance to walk around yet, but yeah, I mean it's pretty busy. You know what I mean? Like I say, it's a good thing to have going on, and I'm sure it will keep growing and become a big thing every year.
Front Row MMA here at day 2 of the UK MMA Expo. Would you like me to do it like the Front Row MMA here at day fucking 2 of the UK MMA fucking Expo? But I'm going to get the name right this time because I'm not quite sitting on the lap. I'm with the Freak Show, Colin Fletcher. Colin, you got a fight coming up September time?
Yep.
Yeah, Bama 13.
Yes, man.
They're making a lot of noise about you coming back. How does that make you feel as a fighter? Does it just remind you?
No, not bothered.
No?
Yeah. It's all good, man. It's all good.
You get to compete again in front of the UK fans.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to that.
What can they expect to see out of you? Is it going to be
just me like I used to be? Me having fun, me being me not trying to get squeezed into a little box. You know what I mean? Just me.
They've handed you a tasty opponent.
Definitely.
And Newman. Where do you see him being dangerous? What's his?
Everywhere. You know what I mean? Tim's fucking brilliant on the deck. He's very elusive, stood up. He's good everywhere. You know what I mean? That's exactly what I wanted. I didn't want them to kind of. Everyone kind of mentioned like, oh, we'll get you some good fights and get you some wins and stuff. I don't fucking want wins. You know what I mean? I don't care about wins. I'm not in there to win fights. I'm in there to have fights.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like I've fought people all of my life. You know what I mean? I'm not the kind of person who just wants to be like. Believe it or not, I don't do this for like fame reasons. I don't give a fuck if people like this. You know what I mean? I'm gonna be me, and if people don't like it, don't fucking watch. You know what I mean? Or you can send us a bullshit. I think you shit on Twitter. I don't care. You know what I mean?
Here with Izzy Calderwood, who is with Safe MMA. Yes. Hi Izzy, nice to meet you. Do you want to go a bit more into Safe MMA and the branding and the aspects of it for me? Safe
MMA is a voluntary medical regulatory body set up to improve the kind of safety care around fighters in the UK. Alabama Cage Warriors Ultimate Champion and founding promotions who came together and agreed to carry out the safe standard of care across their shows. So all fighters competing on those shows and now on that West Fighting and also kind of the UK MMA Expo professional fights need to have their bloods done, they need to have an annual GP medical, and they also go for pre and post fight medicals. All that medical information is then sent over to Harley Street, it's compiled in a database, so we start gathering information and data about the safety of the sport.
Front Row MMA here at the UK MMA Expo, Event City, Manchester, and we're fortunate enough to be joined by Dr. Rosi Sexton, UFC fighter and pioneer for not just women's mixed martial arts, but mixed martial arts in the UK. First, I just want to talk about the Expo. Why are events like this important for MMA in the UK?
I think it's a great opportunity for fans to have the opportunity to come and interact with the fighters and to get together to promote the sport as well. I think it's been great to get out there to see some of the different events, to watch the grappling, for example, and all all the different stalls, and talk to people about the sport.
How important is that relationship with the fans face to face? Because I've seen, people have been talking to you, coming up to you, asking for pictures. How important is fostering that relationship?
I think it's very important. I think interacting with the fans and speaking to them. I think it's. It means a lot to me as a fighter to see how much people do care about watching the fights, watching their favourite fighters, and the support I've had personally as well. The number of people who've come up to me and said, "Oh, that was a great fight, fantastic." It means a lot to me, and I think as well, it means a lot to the fans to be able to go up to them, shake hands, maybe get a picture, have a few words.
Front Row MMA here, and feel free to begin with John Maguire. John, it wasn't the greatest performance you've admitted. And you've taken some time off. How do you feel right now?
Shit. I feel like pretty. I feel pretty good here. Of course, I'm disappointed with the way I fought, but it's just what it is. You know what I mean? I'll just mosey on through and keep going. I'll get along.
Now you've taken some time off. How has that helped you?
Well, it's helped me prepare, eating these donuts and that, but yeah, I'm enjoying time off, being in the gym. Hey, bounce out! Yeah, I'm enjoying the time off, enjoying my food.
This isn't a permanent vacation though, right?
No. But these are good, I'm not gonna lie.